Girl.
Hi! Yay!
Oh, is this yay for the year?
This is yay for the year. It's 2025, you guys. We're going to have a special year. It's going to be so good. All of your dreams are going to come true. Right? This is so exciting to be here. Natalie and I haven't recorded in like a few weeks.
Yeah, I was trying to remember last time we had a stream, and it feels like a month ago. I don't know. Stuff's happening.
Right. She took me to go see the Nutcracker. I loved it. Never seen a ballet.
Yeah. Yep, I just took her yesterday. It was really weird. There was a nutcracker on the street. It was like Christmas is over. It was like mice. I don't know if that was a nutcracker. It might have just been sewer.
A sewer? Well, thank you for taking me to the sewer, Natalie.
You're welcome. No, we did go to the Nutcracker, and I was very excited to show you I love that ballet still. I grew up doing it for 15 plus years.
Yeah? Do we have any ballerinas in chat? Let us know.
Where my Trina's at?
Trina's. I went and I met up with, speaking of performing arts, because I majored in theater, no big deal. And my friends from that time, we all like met up, and one of them stayed on my couch, and it was... I forgot how much I love acting. I used to do dramatic acting, and then I was like, no, I'm going to go do comedy. And then that was like 20 years ago. I just forgot.
You were like,
oh, time. It flies by fast, people. Do what you want to do today.
Do it. Do it now. Just start now. It doesn't matter.
Just start. I'm going to audition for plays.
I think you should.
Theater, people.
You also are a great singer.
Thank you.
But I also am supportive that you keep doing stand-up, even though it's like kind of a grind because you're really good at it.
Thanks. Open mics are interesting. Definitely heard about my kids won't talk to me. I lost all my Bitcoin.
That's so funny.
I know, right? Star on Broadway. Go get that EGOT, girl. Thank you, Blonde and Bothered. This is great.
Yeah, I love this.
2025 is going to be my year.
Yeah, we're all thrilled for it.
It's going to be Natalie's year, too. What do you have planned for this year?
We didn't get to do our vision boards at our friend's house, so I don't know.
No, you can plan.
No, I can't. I need a vision board. We were supposed to have a vision board. Yes, we do have. Oh, you think it's funny, Eric? You think that's funny? Yeah.
She got diarrhea.
She did. Our friend had explosive diarrhea, so we couldn't go to her house to have vision board day.
All right.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Well, then I guess you can just play it by ear.
That's also terrifying, but that's kind of how I've always gone. Mm-hmm. Not always for the betterment of myself.
Right. Well, yeah, I could see you just,
I have long-term ideas. I feel like if I get it's why I don't do New Year's resolutions really. I feel like if you make too many micro, like you have to do this, it kind of just sets you up to fail a little bit.
Oh, right, because if you don't do it, it's like, well, I didn't get to go do that thing.
But I have like long-term. Is this interesting, guys?
You have long-term stuff. You want to do a movie.
I mean, I would love to go back to making movies and stuff, but I really I'm happy over the last few years we've had this opportunity to do all this podcasting, and we had that during the quarantine time. It was really cool to have that opportunity.
That's right.
To stay inside.
Special vision board stream. That would be a good idea. I just find, take pictures of things you like and put it all in a document.
Didn't you do that on Brighter Side?
I did. We did it on Brighter Side. Check it out. It's the last episode we did. Mood boards.
Mood boards. Mm-hmm. They'll live on forever in perpetuity, though.
Fuck yeah, they will. Hype train success. Thank you so much, everybody.
Fuck yeah.
So let's get into the show.
No better people to talk about these horrible things than a theater major and a dance major. So that's why we are here today.
Like world politics and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, because we have this on the list.
We do.
And militias. I don't know what that is. What is a militia?
They don't really know what it is either. They just call themselves that. I think anybody can call themselves a militia.
That's right.
If you put your heart into it.
LPN.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't put that on the air. We're a militia here at LPN.
That's right.
We have no weapons, don't worry.
I don't know how to use a gun. I'm a girl.
I know.
God. Ugh,
so silly. Okay, so let's start off. Last year, towards the end of the year, we wanted to address a missing case at the top of every stream because we are focused on the LDS Church right now and during our main season. I hope if you guys have been listening that you've enjoyed the episode so far. We're going to be releasing episode 7 this week, and it's been a journey. And it's been really fun.
I got really mad on this last episode. I said some curse words.
Yeah, it became a very visceral episode, but It's good.
Yeah.
I think it's a good episode. But this week, I think we are highlighting a missing woman from, I believe, Southern California, right?
Yeah, from Irvine. So she went out December 20th. She just went out to go take the trash and never came back in. No history of mental anything.
She just want to pop her up there.
Pop her up. So if you see her,
Oh,
her name again.
it's coming.
See, look at this. Theater majors and dancers.
Yep.
We know what we're doing.
You want the video?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Sure.
New at 5 o'clock this New Year's Eve, an Irvine family is pleading for their missing daughter to return home. They say she took out the trash December 20th and didn't come back.
Orange County reporter Jessica DeNova spoke with the family, desperate to find her safe and get her back home.
We love her, and that we need to know if she's okay.
Heartache and tears from a family in Irvine desperate to hear from their eldest child. The parents of Vanessa Al-Kurd say their 18-year-old daughter took the trash out on December 20th and never returned. Mom says though stress from school weighs heavily on Vanessa, she has a meaningful life here with 4 siblings looking up to her.
She volunteers at a Sunday school. She loves her siblings. This is very unlike her. I mean, she crochets and she loves doing little markets and selling her plushies and making children happy.
Vanessa's passport, some cash and clothes gone. One Note family says the young woman left behind is concerning. It speaks of dreams where harm may come to the family if Vanessa stays.
It showed signs of mental health, that she needs help.
In a second message, Vanessa writes to her little sister, promising she'll return.
That I want my big sister back.
Oh, it's so sad.
She mostly helps me with everything.
Mom says an anonymous tip leading them to take a trip to Roseville, just outside of Sacramento, this past week. Vanessa spotted at the Tarbiyah House Mosque on December 24th. An employee there tells Eyewitness News they gave Vanessa some financial help. Detectives with the Irvine Police Department say they're working to confirm this information. Vanessa's grandmother telling her she loves her, begging her granddaughter to please communicate so they know she's okay.
If there's any way we can help, to please reach out and let us know that she's okay. We want her back. We want her to come home. Even if she doesn't come home, we can set something remote. If she's afraid for us, we can set something remote. But we love her. She needs to know we love her.
Vanessa just turned 19 years old this past Saturday. Anyone with any information on her whereabouts is asked to contact Irvine Police. Reporting in Irvine, Jessica DeNova, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
So that sounds
a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if they were maybe suggesting that she was having a mental health crisis. It's hard because adults are allowed to go away. She's 19, but when they don't, if there's no wellness checks done, you have to keep looking because you don't know what kind of perils she might be in.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and did they say her passport is missing?
it sounds like either she had a credible threat happening to her or she was experiencing some kind of maybe mental crisis. But either way,
If you see her,
Yes.
contact the Irvine Police Department.
the number is 949-724-7000.
I can't imagine being a mom.
Yeah, they seem
Heartbreaking.
so heartbroken, of course. So hopefully hopefully Vanessa is okay, and if she doesn't, want to be found, at least do a wellness check so people can know that she's, all right.
That she's all right. And Natalie brought up a story to me earlier that made my jaw drop. I don't know. What is this newspaper again? What's it
Oh, well, first off, I should have started the episode with Happy Insurrection Day, everybody. Happy Insurrection. It's such an exciting day for us here in America. It's my favorite day. So, yeah, I kind of love that I actually have not seen any coverage of anything today.
I didn't either. I was just blissfully looking at these horrible stories to put up on the show for today. I didn't even see anything on social media about this as the inauguration day.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for all of us. I kind of hope that there's less coverage in general.
Right.
But we've had a big change today. we have, a new couple presidents, and we'll see how that goes. But this is something that actually ProPublica, which is an independent magazine that covers, I know them for covering extremist groups, but they do like independent journalism. And this actually ended up coinciding with our season, our LDS, WTF LDS season, because this is in regards to militias and in regards to January 6th and also to Oath Keepers. Do you remember Oath Keepers?
What is an Oath Keeper? What is that?
It's a militia.
Okay, and what is a militia? It's just a bunch of guys.
Yeah, it can be
J6, baby.
Yeah.
Can girls be in militias?
There are women in militias, yeah. Anybody who wants to create their own micro army, essentially, with their own agenda generally. So Oath Keepers is one of the big ones at J6. And the guy who was running it is in jail. We'll see if he gets out. He keeps, the gentleman who just got in the office today keeps promising to release all the January 6th people who have been in prison since then for breaching the Capitol. And there is some think tanks and some pieces that have come out talking about there's been like people who know what they're doing studies basically of the odds that if he releases them, that there's some evidence also with this article that I'm about to tell you about that it's sort of like a dog whistle for extremist militia, like right-wing militias.
Oh, if it's like, hey, they just got away with it, you can too. Come on, boys.
It's kind of the same way that he didn't, I hate saying his name, kind of the same way he didn't necessarily tell them to storm it, but he did at the same time. And so it's that sort of wink. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see. There's a lot in California. I remember the day he won, I was walking to the grocery store and there was a car parade for like 10 minutes.
In Hollywood?
In Hollywood, people with trucks and flags. And I was...
you were excited. You were like, yeah!
No, I was shocked because I'm in Hollywood. I'm in satanic, childless, godless Hollywood. Like, why are you here?
I mean, the ones who are there are very loud.
Yeah.
They are the most vocal, for sure. But there's this really interesting article that ProPublica put out that is covering a mole who has been inside of a bunch of right-wing militia groups since here. Yeah, you want to pop over to it? Oh, do I need to reset my computer?
Oh, the inauguration is January 20th, so we aren't under the demented brotherhood yet. Today, we're just a certification of the election. Okay, final angle, thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, guys. You're totally right. I'm an idiot. I forgot about that. It's settled today. It's settled.
Okay.
Okay, so this article is called The Militia and the Mole. And it's covering this person who's been sending this journalist, Joshua Kaplan, basically years worth of files that he's kind of infiltrated these groups and taken all of this stuff and sent it out to ProPublica because no other journalist would listen to him.
Because it's scary.
But the journalist who covered it, he did a lot of due diligence to kind of verify this person's existence and that he really did these things. And it is scary. It is taking place in, guess where? Idaho and Utah, LDS country. So I don't know if you guys remember too much about the Oath Keepers, but the guy who was running it, whose name is Rhodes something. He's the guy with the eye patch.
Stuart Rhodes, I think.
Stuart Rhodes.
I feel like we're being run by like Disney villains. When you said the guy with the eye patch.
Well, my favorite part about that is that he shot his own eye out.
Oh.
Clean.
This is why I can't get one of those pew-pews, because I just feel like I would do something really stupid, like, I don't know, like use it to open a can.
Elmer Stuart Rhodes is his name.
All right, Elmer. Imagine yelling that in bed. Elmer. Elmer.
There he is. So he shot his own eye out cleaning a gun, which is pretty fun. A little bit bumbling, I would say. He's under the jail right now. But I don't know if people were like, I wasn't keeping up with it. I was like, oh, the leader, there he is. Look at that.
He's scary. He has an eye patch and a cowboy hat.
He's got a patchy beard, I will say that. So I was kind of just like, oh, they must be disbanded. And I think a lot of people thought that, and this article is actually addressing that too, where this guy's like, no, they're very much alive, and they have a bunch of people in like government positions and like police forces who are helping them.
Oh, so they've like infiltrated the government. Even though they hate it, that's why they want to do it.
Yeah.
Are we gonna fall? No, Swankflow says, I've worked with a lot of school districts through the country, and the ones in Idaho all say they hate the Mormons that have moved in over the last 3 decades.
I mean, I believe there's no shade to Idaho. I'm certain there's like amazing sections of it.
Great.
But it's also, it's got a lot of extremist, like right-wing cells of people, and also extremist right-wing LDS members. We'll cover this on the show a little bit, but people like Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell and their group all kind of moved around about Idaho, Arizona, and Utah, and their group's really fun. They're preppers themselves too, and are preparing for.
Oh, so it's just a lot of hard right wing. Interesting.
It's doomsdayers mostly.
It's doomsdayers, because I was on the bus and this guy was like pissed off, and he was like, Trump won, and I was like, yeah, he won.
He did, sir.
Okay, I don't know why they're mad. What do they want? It's just doomsday. They just want the world to end so then they can be the big guys.
It kind of feels nihilistic, yeah. I think that there's probably an element of that.
Maybe because they hate their own lives. And it's easier to push for the demise of the world so then you can be king of the shithole than try to build yourself up. Because that's hard, to go to therapy and be like, oh, those decisions I made were wrong. And they made me not make a lot of money or have happiness. And maybe I should choose better. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Destroy the government.
And also, I'm sure a lot of times those people were screwed over by the government in certain ways, because we all are.
We all are. This is a class consciousness thing.
Sure, which I love. I am very happy about. But also, you have to take also personal accountability for things.
You sure do. Oh, hey, my grandpa shot his own dick off cleaning his gun. My partner got one a few months ago because we're queers in conservative state, but I'm still a little conflicted between I want to use it to learn it, but I hate looking at it. Well, don't shoot your genitals off.
I don't. I'm glad that he waited to shoot his genitals off until after your partner had been
born. I
guess, like their parent was born and then they were eventually born, so that's nice. Yeah, no, I'm not anti-firearm just because we can't. It's too late. They're out. You can't put you can't put the stuff back in the bottle.
The shit back in the bottle.
We've now created like so many guns, they won't go away. So I think it's really important though, like to not just buy a gun and like you have to go train. You have to go practice. You have to be really confident with the gun because they are more likely to hurt somebody than do anything in a sort of like emergency situation. But guns I'm not anti-gun in that way at all. I think you should know how to use all weapons personally. I think you should know how to, ask Henry. He wants to learn how to wield a whip.
Leading cause of death of pregnant women is gun violence.
Yeah, leading cause of death, I think, for pregnant women in general is domestic violence.
Right, because they just get offed by their the person that put the baby in there. Great. Well, this is
2025, everybody. 2025.
I do want to talk about a woman, 32 years old, in perfect health. She was unalived recently, and she ran.
We don't know necessarily, but probably.
She's dead, but we don't know.
Are you guys on the Clock app and all that? It's very much. Have you seen this story?
This lady, so she's 32 and she was running schools. She was breaking up child marriages and adopting these kids. She was feeding kids and like giving them an education. And now she's just, her life has been ended. We don't know how or why.
So,
I have her a video explaining the whole situation, and also her last TikTok, which is really, it's kind of ominous.
Her name is Dora Nyambe, if anybody has heard of her.
All right, let's play the news thing first.
Dora Nyambe, a humanitarian who chronicled her child advocacy work online, has died.
Hi everyone, my name is Dora and I live in a remote village where I foster, feed, house, and give healthcare to over 500 kids.
More than 4.2 million people followed Nyambe as she strove to make the world a better place for underprivileged children. In 2019, Nyambe launched the nonprofit organization Footprints of Hope to help build schools in Zambia and fight child marriage. Without government funding or financial support from the community, Nyambe turned to social media to share her life and to fundraise.
That is why I have this platform. I bring awareness, I tell people what the problem is, I tell people what can be done.
In her 4 schools, Nyambe has helped shelter and educate over 500 children. A statement posted to social media announced Nyambe's passing. It said in part, "She will be remembered as a loved mother, heroine, peace philanthropist, and an extraordinary woman."
Yeah, so she did a lot of good, and we don't know why she's gone. Somebody mentioned maybe a heart condition. It could have been that.
It could have been. If you guys are on socials, you should go follow her accounts. I'm one of the people who unfortunately did not hear about her until her video popped up on my feed, and it was people in the comments being like, "I can't believe you're gone." It seems obviously kind of nefarious, but they're not releasing anything right now, and that could be for bad reasons, or it might be for justice reasons. It could have just been a medical condition, but that is also not being released at all. So I feel like if it was like a cut and dry medical condition, that'd be reported on.
Yeah, just make it very clearly heart condition. We'd be like, okay, all right, because she spent most of her time just helping so many people.
Well, she also developed a lot of enemies because she was helping eradicate child marriage. So you can go through her content and watch. She was doing, like, I think a brilliant thing to do to, raise awareness, which is to like do TikTok trends and stuff like that, where she's talking about how she's trying to get these kids out of child marriage. And apparently, no matter where you live in the world, people get mad when you don't want children to be essayed and owned. So she was doing something that was like considered pretty risky. And so hopefully something will come of it. Hopefully, first off, I think it's important to share her message and what she was doing so that people can continue to help that area and continue her passion and her projects that she was doing, so that all those kids don't just immediately lose that support.
Yeah.
And also because I want her name and her story to get out, so that there's if there's justice that needs to be done, that maybe it will get fulfilled.
Right.
Yes.
Let's take a look at her last TikTok, which makes me think it might be. It's pretty ominous because she's doing the trends. Let's keep that in mind. Let's give it a go.
She's such a sweet looking, like just such a good spirit.
Yeah.
Like, very good Italian wrist.
Right. How come mad hair in my face? How come like mad mean people last forever? You know what I mean? Like
they don't have any blood pressure issues because they don't feel.
Because they don't have a heart.
Very
That's
calm.
why. It's always like the kindest people like doing in peace. They're just like, get him. I think that's a Dave Chappelle joke though.
Wow.
Well, I think he made that point, and I forgot about it. Because sometimes because I used to watch a lot of these comedians, and then I'll just like say something, and be like, oh, that's a Louis C.K. joke.
Oh no, I would like watch stand up almost obsessively growing up. And then it's like, well, now I can't remember if it's a thing I made up or somebody else said
Right. Like that Mitch Hedberg joke. I used to do drugs. I mean, I do drugs today, but I used to also. Like, that's all. I always want to say that when I'm on stage, but then the audience would be like, boo, you stole that. You stole it.
I wrote a script and I gave it over to the producers and they said they liked it, but they wanted me to rewrite it. And I said, fuck that. I'll just make a copy. It's one of his.
Oh, you saw a commercial and the commercial said, forget everything you ever knew about mattresses. And I said, okay, done. He's very funny.
God, he was great.
He's very funny. What else? We have a story about...
So anyways, you guys check out her social media. I'm really sad I didn't hear of her until her passing, and hopefully there will be, if there was something that was bad that happened, that we'll see some justice for that. But definitely keep her mission alive.
The filming.
Guys, I'm sorry. There is a lot of SA stuff today, and we got to talk about it.
We do. We have to. So there's this woman, and she was on a military base, and she gets asked out by this guy, and they were like, okay. She says, okay. He said he's new in town. He's looking to meet some people. And then they go meet up at a restaurant, and the restaurant's closed. And she's like, oh my God, I guess we should cancel, because she's getting red flags from this guy, right? And then he says, no, get in my car. We're going to go find another restaurant. And she fake dials the restaurant, like off a number. And she was like, oh, they're closed. They're not opening. And then he goes and checks the door, and they are. And in the restaurant, he keeps feeding her Long Island iced teas, and she doesn't really know what that is because she's raised very religious, and she was like being very abstinent, and he keeps feeding her these Long Island iced teas, and she knows she's really drunk, and she doesn't even know what this is because she doesn't drink, so she just thinks to like record herself, and then he takes her out, basically like does this out the restaurant, and he kisses her so hard her nose starts bleeding. Like he just presses up against her face, and then because they even have receipts from, they went to like a little CVS type store to get, pads and things for her bloody nose. And then is still recording, and then he assaults her in the car. Now, she.
Like you think you're supposed to do, right?
Like you think you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And she, very young, religious, never been drunk kind of girl, does a thing, and that's why I want to talk about this, because we tend to think of assault as like a man behind the bush and he gets you and it's very clear and obvious. But then what if you're like, oh, I want to tamper that down in my head, that it actually wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. And then 3 days went by, and she's like, yeah, it actually was, because she shared it with her friend, the video. And her friend was like, no, that was actually very bad, and you should go report this to the police. Now, the police, they have a bias against it, and they say they don't do a lot of the like things that the police are supposed to do, the protocol. Like they don't even confiscate his phone.
Are they military? Are they police from the airbase?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have the news?
The news? I sent it to the group chat.
Is there a video?
No, there's no video.
Her name is Veronica Rodriguez. She's 26 years old.
Yeah. So anyways, she gets arrested and detained because she violated his, like, you can't just be around filming people, and she shared it with somebody.
Is it like a two-party state thing?
So she also has a gag order against her now, so she's not allowed to talk about it. So, it was violating his consent.
Yeah.
I think that raped her.
I think that they're trying to use that two-party consent law thing for some states where you can't record somebody's voice without their permission in some states. I'm trying to see let's see. This is in...
somebody knows, it's not Philly. It's on the East Coast.
It is in Philly? No, not Philly. Where is it?
It's in, wow, we're great. We do such a great job.
Lebanon County, looks like maybe Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Pennsylvania. I don't know why I thought Pittsburgh, but thank you so much. Yep.
Oh, how dare you? That doesn't happen in Pittsburgh.
It's kind of hard to find this story because it's not really talked about. And I had to make sure this was a legit website because you know me. I'll go on trustmebro.com and be like, that's what they said. But it looks like a real
I was
story.
proud of you. You brought, I was really busy with writing today, and you brought articles and everything. I was proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes, Pennsylvania is a two-party consent state, meaning all parties involved in a conversation must consent to being recorded. I guess even if you're being fucking raped, I guess. What?
Yeah.
I guess maybe, is this still, okay, so this one is still ongoing, maybe?
It's still ongoing, and she's denying to talk to any press because, you know, I'd be horrified.
Well, also maybe she's being advised not to, but
Right.
Yeah, it seems like it's saying he's a doctor. So I wonder if it's a case of he has a really good lawyer who's trying to find a way to get the charges dropped, because that's what this sounds like to me.
She's put away, and she's just a victim.
I mean, if that fucking happens, that's grounds for riot.
That is grounds for riot. You know?
I would say no matter what, listen, I would still say if you were in a two-party consent state and somebody is essaying you, you fucking put the phone on, you record it still. And if the, you know, circus of somebody trying to intimidate you happens, like, you just have to keep sending that out to the media, because that's insane. Like, that's something, if that's not in a law already, we probably should talk about addressing.
That is absolutely insane. It made my blood boil. And they also have like a breakdown of what happened because it is in the audio, and I couldn't. I had to get up and walk around. I couldn't look at someone's trauma.
Like, what if audio is caught on like security camera for a restaurant of them, like, you know, stabbing somebody or something, like, and it's just the audio? Can they say, oh, I didn't consent to that audio being recorded?
Right, and it's like evidence that you committed a crime.
Of somebody just going like, can't believe how much I'm stabbing this guy to death. Fuck you, Ken.
Because that doesn't seem right. They don't seem good. Because you committed a crime.
That's, I feel like that might, well, let's see how it shakes out. I hope that fucking defense gets shot down. But it sounds like maybe it's like an attorney trying his best to do what he's supposed to do, or she supposed to do, which is to make their client win their case.
That's right. I think the issue is the sharing of it, because she didn't know what happened, you know, and just trying to like sweep it under the rug. And then she shared it with a friend, and her friend was like, no, you were assaulted and you should go to the police.
That's idiotic. Like, that should not have any bearing on an assault
You
case.
shared
like,
it?
I can't see this really standing up in court. I mean, I hope not. I've only just read it today, so I don't know enough about it. But
I think it's being pushed down on purpose, because I only kind of heard about it on TikTok, and then I scoured the internet, and it's available. But then some of the websites that they talk about it, you have to pay them. It's just not.
It's also partly it could be her being advised, but also it's like what we've talked about on the show so much with missing cases is a lot of times to get a news story out, you almost have to treat it like you're like promoting your movie. You have to like sell it to get people's attention. And sometimes that even means like it'll affect the court case, like in a way to benefit you. If people are shamed into like being like, you know, like having justice served in some court systems and stuff, that can make a difference in some ways. So yeah, I
hate that. Like when people shame the victim. Not into it.
We just got to teach people how to elevator pitch the thing that's happened to them that they're trying to get justice.
You just relive your trauma.
Yeah, over and over
again. Great. And speaking of rape, I'm sorry. I don't know how to segue.
This is not funny, but like, what are you supposed to do but laugh at this story that we're going to cover? Like, what else are you supposed to do? I don't know.
There was a Telegram app, and it was 70,000 people deep talking about how do I assault my wife, my daughter, my sister. 70,000.
So
and they're not. I guess they're not going to jail. No, there's no case against this because. They didn't do anything. I don't know.
Well, I think that probably if I were to be guessing, that they might end up trying to chase down some of these people to find out if they have committed crimes.
Right.
But so this is a Telegram group. This was a news story, I think, last week or so, like mid-December. Telegram has already gotten a bunch of heat. I've mentioned it a bunch here. It's one of the biggest hubs for predators to share materials and to find victims. The guy, we covered him actually on one of the streams, the guy who founded Telegram was wanted, and he ended up getting arrested when he touched down, I think in France, somewhere. He's basically like in a country that wasn't recognizing his warrant, and then he like flew, and it like people were like literally waiting for him in the airport and put him in jail because of this, because not just this group, but because the Telegram claims that they're very stringent about, making sure there's not this stuff happening, and they just have so much evidence that they're not doing anything because it drives up their audience. So a main chunk of their audience is people preying on people.
Interesting. Does this mean Elon Musk can potentially go to jail for what he did to Twitter?
Not now that he's president.
That's right. Because last time I was on Twitter, and I had to like delete my account forever because there was a man openly calling for assaulting a 6-year-old girl sexually, how that's okay. And I reported it. I was like reporting for like violence, sexual, like whatever. I forget what I said. And they were like, no, we didn't think this tweet broke any community guidelines. And you could be like, well, Elon didn't say that, but then he allows it to happen on his app. He encourages it.
Well, I think the thing that's grossest about him is that he pretends like he fixed it. And nobody who is already, licking his boots is going to statistically check that. He's just like, no, I solved it. And they're like, yeah, he did it.
Why do guys like him so much? He's so gross.
Because he's an edgelord, but he's also he's almost getting to geriatric age. But,
right.
So the founder of Telegram is named Pavel Durov, and he was indicted in France for doing these things, for allowing this to go on because it makes him money, essentially. And that is one of the big groups that they uncovered on Telegram that I imagine is going to be used against him. That it was literally 70,000 people deep. That was just literally about raping their family members.
I mean, how do you think about that all day?
I don't know. There seems to be a lot of people doing it. But I will also add the caveat that is worldwide. So it's not 70,000 people in like one town. It's people across the planet. Also, half of it probably is edgelord stuff. Not that it's like, not that you're doing well if you're going online saying that stuff to like get at people, but not all of those people are acting on those things. But what I do think maybe it shows is like an epidemic of loneliness and brokenness and lack of, I don't know, any moral substance.
Right. We are pretty broken. Why is that, Natalie? Because it's not the iPad. They're not the iPad kids.
I think it's to do with late stage capitalism.
Right. Or maybe their parents didn't want to have kids. Raising kids is no joke.
Well, that's part of late stage capitalism too, is forcing that idea of everyone needs to have kids to work in our factories.
Right. And then you have them and they're like, oh shit, I got to like raise it right and spend a good amount of time with this thing and like give it good morals and values. I can't just put an iPad in its hands. So yeah, you're going to grow up and you're going to be an edgelord on Twitter.
Yeah, actually, I've reposted some TikToks I've seen of teachers begging parents to talk to their children about how to navigate the internet safely. And he's basically like, Aiden Ross is raising all of your children. Please talk to them.
Aiden Ross, who's that again?
He's a guy connected to Andrew Tate. He's like one of them guys.
Oh, one of those stupid boys.
Pretty sure Trump went on his podcast. So.
Let me see, what does he look like?
He gave Trump a Cybertruck with his face on it.
Oh, this guy. Never seen him.
He's the one who sniffed Andrew Tate's seat, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sniffed his seat.
Can you Google the image of him smelling Andrew Tate's seat during the live stream?
I feel like I've kept my peace a little too hard, and now I have no idea who any of these guys are.
I'm glad that you did. I don't even want you to know. I want to put your blind. Like, no,
I can't see them. I just want to see. I like my TikTok because I like the girls. I like come get ready with me. I like queer stories. I don't want this fucking guy. What do they got to talk about?
They market to. Okay, here's sort of a glimpse of it. So they're doing a 2-person live stream, and Andrew Tate gets up and leaves the room. And I think that Aiden Ross just forgot the camera was on, and he went over to where Andrew Tate was sitting and smells the seat. And that guy, he interviewed the President of the United States of America.
Wow.
And probably pushed the election for him. Because the huge base of the people who voted for Trump this time were young, like under 25 males.
Yo.
And that is Aiden Ross's entire audience is like 14 to 25 or whatever. So I actually think that man who was sniffing the farts of Andrew Tate swung the election for our country.
Holy shit. We're just run by edgelords?
We are.
Just weird little guys. I feel like a lot of these guys are not emotionally developed, and they're probably
No, what?
What?
Oh, wait, here's the video, guys. Just so you know we didn't make it up. So this is Andrew Tate leaving. Him just, I guess, not realizing the camera was rolling.
Well,
and
maybe
that
he's
man
gay.
Helped us change the shape of our country.
I love it. What is the female equivalent of that? Like, what could we do? Like us? No, just kidding.
Yeah. I'm not smelling your farts. I'm sorry.
No, please. I don't want to smell your.
Not for free.
Not for free. Yeah.
Well, I think it's more the discussion has been more about like
it's Jackie.
It's Jackie's the counterpart. Is that young men need other role models that aren't
weird,
that aren't that speak to them, because there is this like conversation to be had about young men who grew up under Me Too, who only see this side of it and maybe don't understand why it's happening, who are like, fuck women, like going down that path and just being like, well, no, I get that. If you've never heard anything else and you don't understand this, especially as a young person. But there's like this need for men who are influencing them, who are not necessarily like outwardly being like, yes, queen, we love them, we are all inclusive. Not saying that you shouldn't act that way, but that there needs to be a kind of a male figure who can talk to that group in a way that they'll resonate with. That's not just like saying, you pay me money and I'll teach you how to traffic women, which is what Andrew Tate did.
Yes, it's just all built on hate. Like who's that guy? The Australian guy, Steve Irwin. We need like Steve Irwin, Someone to be like, hey guys, and like teach valuable lessons and not built on hate.
More crocs.
More crocodiles.
Yeah, I would love that. I love Steve Irwin. And you're right. I can't think of another single positive influence.
I know. Someone on my social media asked who I looked up to as a man, and the only person I could think of was my dad. Deep State Jesus. But at least you have a good dad.
That's really nice to have a good dad. That's cool.
Really nice.
I mean, yeah, I also think it'd be great if you didn't have to look up to anybody on the internet. But as forementioned, a bunch of kids are not being talked to by their parents. So it's just like, where's the chaotic good person coming in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right. A lot of parents are like, I don't want these fucking kids. And then they're like, all right, I guess I'll go to the internet and I'll immediately find their little guru guy.
And those dudes are making hundreds of millions of dollars off of those kids. They know exactly how to cater to that group, and they are making so much money. And it's really sad.
We got Bob Ross. That's a good one.
He's been dead for like 30 years, you guys. Come on. We got to come up with an alive person.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers?
He's dead!
LeVar Burton?
Oh, love LeVar Burton.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh man, do I love. We need more like Reading Rainbow like shows. Is that happening?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch kid shows, but man, Reading Rainbow is so fucking good.
Oh, this
okay.
guy.
Now, yeah, we got Rhodes over here.
This guy.
Can't even teach you how to clean a gun correctly.
I wonder if a lot of those men are just gay and they're angry about it and they don't know any better.
Well, okay. Let's,
You know?
we can't
Not gay
tell
people
who's
aren't bad.
gay, but obviously this, along with many other things with Aiden Ross, it gives hints that perchance he might be potentially homosexual and can't deal with it.
Nick Fuentes is gay. We're being run by evil twinks.
Was that confirmed? Does he actually say that he is?
Yeah, he went on a date with this guy. I saw the live stream. That's why.
Is it real or is this a debunked thing?
No, it's real. That's why I was so...
Is it AI?
No, it's real.
Okay.
Sorry. No, also, who's that Destiny guy? He sucked his cock on stream. That's
Guys,
real.
That is real. Fact checkers.
Is
that real? Do you just Al Roker? Al Roker? Come on.
Yes, people saying yes.
Al Roker. He stood by while Matt Lauer was buzzing people into his room.
Keanu Reeves is good.
Keanu Reeves is great. That's true. There's lots of great men. I'm being very silly. I'm being hyperbolic, but
I'm gonna look it up right now. Destiny.
they're all like okay, but they're all like kind of older guys. Like who in their 20s?
Who's a young one? Yeah.
I mean, there's really great influencers and political talking heads and stuff who are in their 20s, but I don't think they resonate with the kind of guys I'm talking about. They like resonate with me, which is not helping anything.
Right. Destiny and Nick Fuentes leaked oral sex video. Do you want to see it?
No. No, especially if it wasn't consensually leaked, because even if you're garbage people, you shouldn't be.
Because now I'm doing the thing that girl did earlier.
What?
Never mind.
Know what that
Play
means.
it.
No, I think it's actually no matter if you hate the person or not, if they didn't consent to having their porn leaked, that you shouldn't be watching it.
Very fair and ethical of you, Natalie. Thank you.
I just think it's good for your skin if you don't.
Eddie, they're saying Eddie and Henry. Yeah, the guys that work here are good.
They are really good guys.
What's like a 25-year-old?
They're like evil, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're like, I think that they have good morals and they have good belief systems, but they also like say horrible things like for their job.
For their job. What other stories we were going to talk about? We talked about that, the Yahoo thing. And then we got...
I think that was all.
I think that's... Well...
You still got your silly video.
We still got that silly video. Do you want to play that and then ask for any questions? Or do you want to ask questions and play the silly video?
Do you want people to ask questions about the silly video?
Maybe you can ask a question about the silly video. Let's watch the silly video.
Yeah. I love doggies.
Oh, God. Oh, this is me in the future.
Is this the Destiny sex tape?
Christmas lights and remembrances so true. I really have to say, knowing you in every way.
Oh,
she's feeling it.
The dog AI video behind her is fantastic. If you're listening, I wish that you could see the video.
She's wonderful.
I love her. She's great.
Yeah, she just sings. She gets her heart into it. That's her account.
I was really worried for a second. The song was gonna turn into something pretty dark.
Something pretty dark. We got a lot of subs. Demon Lemur Nick, thank you. Blonde and Bothered.
Hey, Demon Lemur.
Dark _Enchanter. John Boy 2470. And also ANIABAS and Aniabas.
Gar 43, thank you so much for 5 subs. Action Bastard gifted 5 subs as well. Damn. Blonde and Bother gifted a sub. Thank you so much. I'm excited for this week's episode. like we ended up going on some, like, we kind of derailed a little bit,
but it's just pretty shocking, you know?
Yeah, it's been really cool. The episode that got released last week, we got to talk to a few ex-Mormons who were giving us like really amazing input. So definitely go follow Mormon True Crime and follow Life Take Two Jenny.
This is me?
Jenny Gage tells her story on social media about her leaving her really awful LDS marriage, and she gave us this really insane interview talking about what happened to her and how she was kind of given to this man by the bishop of their ward to cure him of his sexual compulsions that she wasn't told about, but the bishop knew and basically sold her to him. And then she found out like 20 years into their marriage.
Right.
He had been
a bad guy.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you don't know you were sold or these bad things did happen to you because you just don't have the language for it. And that's done on purpose.
It is absolutely done on purpose. But she's a total badass. I love her. She calls herself Life Take Two because she is in her early 50s and she's like kind of starting her life over in certain ways, but is like crushing it and is like really fun and still hottie. I love that for her.
Are you guys from Final Engie? Are you guys going to get into the Warren Jeffs this season?
We sure are. We're going to be covering, we're talking a little bit about polygamy right now, but we're going to be covering polygamy a bunch later in the season, and also the splinter groups from the main LDS church, because Warren Jeffs comes from the FLDS, which was a splinter group of the Brigham Young LDS that everybody knows, the big one. They splintered off at one point because they still wanted to have plural wives, which you guys I'm sure have seen, the women who have the poof hair and the prairie dresses. And he's in jail right now and is still being worshipped as a prophet from jail by the people. And so, yeah, they have that group. There's a bunch of polygamist splinter groups, but definitely we'll be talking about Warren Jeffs.
Oh, wow.
There's, he's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's disgusting. Will there be more interviews with the people you interviewed? Sometimes there's only a tiny said by the folks.
Yeah, they're gonna keep having stuff inserted into the episodes, and then after we finish the whole season, we'll release the full interviews so you guys can just hear them talk, because they're all really just fucking cool and interesting people.
How early do you record the current season episodes?
It really goes back and forth. Sometimes we'll bank them for a while, or we'll be working on them, but like not recording until right before. Right now, because of the holidays, we kind of got like bottlenecked. So we're banking some more right now, and we'll get a bit ahead of it. But a lot of it's already like, we pre-recorded a lot of the interviews, kind of structured it out already. It's kind of a little bit of both current and already prepared.
Right, because this is kind of evergreen. It's a very American religion.
Well, not only that, it's like changing daily. It's so crazy how much, even old episodes that we've recorded like in the fall, we're going to have to either re-record or add sections to, because of all of the things that have happened since then regarding the church and the crimes that are coming out of it. And also, guys, Sherry Frankie's book is coming out tomorrow, and you should definitely read it. That's Ruby Frankie's daughter.
Yes.
So she's going to have I'm sure, a very interesting book, which I will be reading.
I love it. All right, everybody.
Are we done? We 6?
I think so. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had our ups and downs. We talked a lot about We talked a lot of stuff on the show. It's my first day back. It's my first day back working, and I'm like, how was I doing this?
You're killing it. You're doing a great job.
Killing it.
Thank you. I was wrong about the inauguration, so I'm not killing it that well.
No, it's okay.
But happy January 6th, everyone. J6 for life. Can't wait till all those guys are out on the street again.
Love it.
Try to reach out to them, see if they want to hang out. Maybe we can give them a podcast.
Give them a podcast. Well, what if they come through California and I don't have a gun, and then they just...
All the J6ers? All right.
Oh.
It's going to be stinky in here. I feel like it's going to be stinky.
Oh, my God. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We're not going to get a militia.
Nah.
We're not going to get militia.
I don't feel like it.
Fine. Oh.